Be sure to check our Numerology Secrets Guide linked below and also like and subscribe to the channel.
What's the meaning of the number 1? 1 is the beginning, the very first of all numbers. The 1 can be recognized in almost any written language, even when all the other single digits are written very differently. Numerologists recognize the number 1 to be masculine in character, and it represents the traditionally masculine traits, such as ambition, confidence, and bravery. Though it's important to note there is no gender bias in numerology. 1 is the ultimate number of creativity. The ancient philosophers believed that the number 1, or as they called it, the monad, breathes in the void and creates all subsequent numbers. Here's one for the mathematicians. 111,111,111 times 111,111,111 equals 12,678,678,654,321. But the number 1 also stands out because of its boldness, its uniqueness and pioneering, independent nature. The 1 leads, and it's closely connected to the ego and the self. But why is any of this important? Well, using the ancient art of numerology, you can see that numbers are so much more than just digits. They hold unique vibrational patterns, or archetypes, and are containers for the currents of divine, universal life, in which we all flow. Numbers can be used to describe everything from the DNA sequences that connect you to your ancestors, to your most ordinary and everyday encounters. Everything in life has a sacred meaning and purpose, and numbers can help you figure out what that is. For this reason, we like to think of numerology as decoding the voice of the universe. As well as describing the world around you, numbers and their archetypal, spiritual energy will often serve as signposts, indicating the best decisions to make and the next steps to take. This means that getting to know their unique qualities can bring a huge amount of insight, meaning, reassurance, and guidance for you, whilst you navigate the path of your life. Is the number 1 the best? For a very long time in the West, the number 1 has equated to being the best. Whether it's the number 1 song, album, YouTube video or box office blockbuster, the number 1 earner for the month, or the highest grade or attendance in school, the number 1 rating of anything is regarded by most people as unequivocally superior to the rest. The number 1 represents the strongest, most popular, most able, and most accomplished. It's the pinnacle. But the number 1 also represents individuality. It contains the creative spark, it takes the risk and goes first. The number 1 implies exclusivity, rarity, and opportunity, as of course, it's unmatched. Think of how enticing, one-day-only, sales are, or how it might feel to beat the odds when they are 1,000,000 to 1. The number 1 in nature. Everything an Indian does is in a circle, and that is because the power of the world always works in circles, and everything tries to be round. Black Elk, 1863 to 1950. The number 1 occurs throughout nature as the circle. Think about this for a moment. Circles are everywhere and created endlessly. From drops of water to the ripples forming across a lake. From the circular rings within a tree trunk, to the form of many flowers, as their petals radiate outwards in all directions. Your own body is formed of circles upon circles, and so are the planets and stars that spin and explode above our heads.